Hey guys, Stevie here. I am super stoked to get going on this tutorial with you because I love the way that it turned out. Lots of mermaid goodness with purples and teals and sparkly lips. So let's get going. Hey guys, so to save time, I did take care of my base and eyebrows and eyeshadow base just to keep you guys from having to see me put on my entire face every single time. It is a fairly regular routine that I use, same kind of product, so feel free to check out any of my other tutorials for details on that. So I am just going to jump in with the eyeshadow. I am starting with a Lorac eyeshadow. Oh, here we go. In Blanc. It is a great kind of bone color that's not too white, not too dark for my pale skin. So this is a great base that I use for most of my looks, unless I'm going for something a little bit crazier. Next, I'm going to go in with Lavender from the Lorac Pro 2 palette. This is one of my favorite palettes ever. The next shadow I'm going to go in with is Dope from the Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette. I don't even know if I'm pointing to the right thing. The next shadow I'm going to use is from Kiss New York Pro. It is this beautiful purple shade called African Violet. And please excuse my burn here. This is what happens when you try to curl your hair at 6 a.m. getting ready for work. Now I'm going to be using a smaller fluffy crease brush here so that I can be a little bit more precise with the application. A fun blending trick that I like to use is to use the last brush that I used with the last color that I used to blend in the most recent color to the last color that I put on my eye. So that way you have a little bit of leftover eyeshadow from the last color that will just help you blend the new color even better. And as you can see here, I do a lot of layering. Even with the same shadows, it's much easier to put more eyeshadow on than it is to try and backtrack when you've already put too much on. So that's why I use so many transition colors and like to do it in layers, even the same shadow 3-4 times, just to make sure I'm not doing too much. Next, I'm going to be going in with this beautiful deep purple shade from the Juvia's Place Zulu palette. It doesn't have a name, so I can't tell you what it is, but it's beautiful, and it is this just gorgeous, super pigmented royal purple. And like I've mentioned before, in order to get a little more of a precise line and to make sure you're not blending out too much so that it's all just completely blown out, I will go in with a much smaller brush like this Morphe brush. It's got a super duper fine tip, and that will just allow a little bit more of a precision application, and then you can go in with a bigger brush to kind of blend it out and get it to blend into what you're working on. For what I believe is my last purple shade, I'm going to go in with, and please excuse me if I'm butchering this, Ife from the Magic palette from Juvia's place. Seriously, these palettes just have so much color, so much pigmentation, and the price is absolutely unreal. It's just ridiculous. Again, just going in with a bigger brush to blend into the last color that I used, because even though I used a tiny little itty bitty brush for a precision application, you still don't want to see harsh lines where you applied that. And you'll also see right now tons of fallout on my inner corners, on the outside on my cheeks. I do like to wait until I'm completely done to clean that up, because the more you wipe and brush it away, the more you get tiny little bits that attach to your face. So if you're just constantly doing that, you might as well just be rubbing the eyeshadow into your face anyway. Just my weirdo way of doing it. So because I've decided to make this a spotlight eye, I'm going to be going in with a little bit of concealer to give myself some room to throw in another color to the mix. I'm going to be using my MAC concealer in W10. This is the Studio Fix pot concealer, and it is fantastic. This is actually the lightest shade that you can find, and because I am nice and pale, it is perfect for me. I also use this as a base for my eyeshadows most times. For this multicolor spotlight that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be using the Saharan 2 palette. There are 2 shades in here that are just absolutely to die for. I'm going to be using Berber, and not even gonna try this one. It starts with Chef, and I'm sure that's even pronounced incorrectly. That any of you who have OCD have been waiting for. We're going to brush off all of this crazy fallout. Now for eyeliner, I'm going to be using a liner that I have not used before. It is the L'Oreal Infallible Lacquer liner. And so it's got a lacquer finish instead of a matte finish, which is what I use most of the time. I thought this might be interesting to see. It is in color Blackest Black. Hope it turns out well. Now, as always, I do like to start with a guideline on my eyeliner. So I will take my brush, and this is actually a paintbrush, guys. It is the best angled brush that I have ever been able to find. It is from a brand called Simply Simmons, and it is a comb angled brush. The comb part, I believe, is what sets it aside from all the other angle brushes that they have, because it is just a much thinner brush with fewer bristles. So you get a super precise line, super precise application, and they're only like $3 at Michael's when you use a coupon. So totally worth it. I buy them 5 or 6 at a time. I use them for my brows, for my eyeliner, for anything that needs really precise application. Highlighter. I've got this beautiful 100% pure blush in shade Chiffon. Kind of a fun pinky color. Figure we're going super girly with the purple. Might as well get a little pinky blush in there. also going to be using this NYX, let me read the package, Duo Chromatic Illuminating Powder. It's got kind of an ugly color when you just look at it. It doesn't look all that exciting, but when you swatch it, it's got all these beautiful shades of purple and pink that just come up in this awesome holographic, like duochrome kind of way, and I love it. Now the lashes I'm going to be using today are from Dollar Lash Club. The style is Ciara. This is Ciara. Isn't she pretty? If you guys like this video, please feel free to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, throw a comment down below, let me know what you thought, and if you have any ideas for my next videos, and we'll see you next time.